What is up, guys? It is Brandon back here with another vehicle today. We have, I think this is a 2010 Mazda 5 minivan. Okay, so let's come take a look at the damage here. So interior, those are rocks, like gravel rocks. There is a funk coming from back here that is nearly indescribable. It's really not that bad, but it's a little nasty back here. And worst of all, here's the real reason I have this. I'm gonna see what I can do about cleaning this car up, but let's take a look. Does that look right to you? So obviously this car has a broken coil spring in the back, as well as just needing some control arm bushings and some suspension components. So we're gonna get to work on this. I'm not gonna lie, I'm feeling a little kind of down in the dumps today. So I know it's gonna be okay, but I'm gonna maybe talk a little less and just work a little bit more. Let me stop you there, Steve. So yeah, this video, I'll be honest, kind of was a bit of a mess. I was dealing with my camera dying just intermittently throughout, running out of storage space on my phone and everything, as well as just kind of feeling generally stressed for time. But just kind of, if you're into it, stick with the video. It does get all put back together. Everything's okay. But yeah, like I said, this is kind of a mess of a video. So take it for what it is. Hopefully it gets better for you and for your viewing experience. I was in a bit of a mood when this first started filming and everything. So I don't know, it gets better. And hopefully the next video will be even better as a total package. Thanks for watching. After editing the first video, it kind of turned out a little bit more tutorial-y than I wanted. I kind of was going more for a vlog style. So I'm gonna do probably a little less explanation, unless it's just me kind of explaining to myself what I'm working on and what's up next in the project, rather than just going step by step, because I feel like that kind of messed with the pacing of the last video a bit. But today what we're gonna do is get as much of this car taken apart as we can, and then I need to order parts for it. And I think I'm just gonna go Rock Auto, which is a little bit of a gamble, and you know, in case you get the wrong part or whatever, or just part doesn't fit. But I think I'm gonna go that route and try to save a little bit of money on this. This was the car, like I had mentioned, so it's my boss is basically giving this vehicle away to someone who needs it. So we're gonna, let's go. Let's get started on this. One thing I wanted to point out here is that these are actually, I don't know how all that's gonna pick up, and it's starting to snow. But these are actually a 10 point or a 10 spline lug nut, which is super weird. I had to retrieve this key, which is driven with like a 19 or a 21 millimeter socket, but it was a really kind of a head scratcher. I couldn't find anything in town to be able to take this off, but I don't know, kind of weird. You ever seen that before? Me neither.
Like, I can understand the rationalization in their minds that, like, hey, this is every comic's dream. That you claim to hate. You'll never get to be who you are, plus have the level of freedom that these other dudes have.
All right, here's an alternate angle coil spring. I guess I probably should put my fingers in there, but, and then obviously the shock is just leaking like crazy. But yeah, overall, I mean, you know, the rust doesn't look terrible. The other thing is it might need a battery. I jump started it a couple times and it just, even after, so I drove this thing home from my boss's house, and it was, yeah, it was about as bad as you can imagine. But I drove it here, so it was on for, I don't know, I let it idle for maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then it was a pretty slow 15-minute drive home. Pulled it into the driveway, wanted to move it, and tried to start it about 2 minutes later, and it just was dead again. So probably needs a new battery, but otherwise no codes. It hasn't fully finished the emissions test since the battery was dead, but overall, not a bad little car. Ugly as sin, if you ask me, but I don't know, it's kind of cool in that ugly way, you know what I'm saying? Cool wheels, aftermarket wheels. And then like this doesn't work too. That's unlocked but not opening, not wanting to unlatch. All right, so I've been staring at it for a while, trying to assess everything that's kind of wrong with it so I can order parts today. I think first thing I'm gonna do is just kind of soak everything in PB Blaster and just try to get some of that rust to loosen up a little bit. And then I think I also am feeling like I might want a blowtorch for this too. So I might go pick up a blowtorch as well. But that's where we are. All right, Mazda. I'm just kind of unpacking a little bit mentally. Yeah, I don't really know what's going on today. I just, you know, I'm tired. I feel stressed out. I feel too busy, and I feel like I'm not getting, or not too busy, but I'm not getting paid enough for how tired, stressed out, and busy I feel. But I am very thankful to have this work and to be doing what I'm doing right now and moving in this direction. But, you know, sometimes I just feel so not self-conscious so much, but just like a lot of self-doubt, you know, that I'll be able to get things done. And I feel like I skew, or I lean very pessimistic when it comes to things. And I love taking projects on, I love taking work on, but then it's like I get into the middle of something and I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna get done, or I don't know how well the final product is gonna turn out. And I'm just, man, I'm feeling that a lot today, and I don't quite know what the deal is. It might just be big changes going on in my personal life and stuff, but I went from being over the moon excited 2 days ago to just feeling like trash today. But we're gonna let this window defrost a little bit. Yeah, so I actually might head back inside. Let's get the defrost going. All right. Actually, no. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that. I might leave that last thing I just said in just for reference, but I think I'm choosing now not to beat myself up and not to engage in such lower wavelength, low level thinking. That's kind of some low level emotion stuff. I don't know where that came from. I think I didn't sleep too well last night, and I'm probably just tired. Disregard everything that I've said. I'm happy. I'm good. I'm a high level thinker, or a high, what the fuck am I trying to say? High waveform. What is that? I'm a high frequency thinker. There it is. Okay, so we're good. Disregard all that. We're good. We're happy. It's cold. I love the cold. I always have. Seriously. It's great. Seriously. Oh, this whole thing's about to go. I don't know how well it's picking up. This is all one big sheet. It's all gonna go. I can see it. The whole thing moves up and down. Try it again. Ah! It's so close. I feel like it's not really picking up. Oh well. I feel like this is a bit overkill for what I'm doing, but you know, looks pretty nice. phone is about to freeze up, so I'm gonna keep working. I don't know how much of this I'm gonna record, but we're just gonna keep trucking along. Normal stuff, normal stuff. All right, day 2 Mazda rebuild. Feeling a lot better today. I didn't get a ton done. I just kind of dropped out that shock and started disassembling the lower rear control arm on the passenger side. Yeah, I don't know what was going on yesterday. I think it was just, I was just cold and cranky. Feeling better today. My camera, like I said, my phone was getting a little bit weird, like it was lagging out real bad. I think just being in the, in the sleet and the cold and everything. But here is, I'll come over here and we'll take a look at what's been done so far. All right, so shock has been removed. And then I just zipped out this bolt and took off. I kind of wasn't thinking, this was another reason I was kind of getting frustrated. But like I started taking stuff off I didn't even really need to. I was just kind of, I don't know, getting in my own head a little bit yesterday, but we're looking good today. We're just gonna continue onward. Should be a pretty nice-ish day. I think it's highs in the low 40s, so that's gonna feel a lot better than yesterday. All right, let's keep going.
So I get really fiendy, I get really cracked out. I feel very anxious, irritable, agitated, annoyed.
All right, hit a bit of a roadblock with stuck bolt on this side, so I just covered it with more PB Blaster. Moving over to the more interesting side, this side with the broken spring. Pulling the shock right now. And yeah, we'll just kind of see. I feel like this actually might be a little easier, just given that it's broken. So it should come out pretty easy, I'm hoping, but should be interesting either way.
This one really getting more.
Scary sound. Angry ball here. Hopefully you can see this. Hopefully my noggin is not being obstructive. So this side is actually coming out easier. If I do this, lefty loosey, do I want ready tight? I think I want ready tight. Is that right? Ready tighty? Okay, let's see if I never stop losing a finger. Is that on?
There we go. One of the two goes down, and then you're also, for me at least, I was left broke. Cocaine is expensive as hell, and when I was using it,
Come out. Yes, it is. Woohoo! Huzzah! All right. Now this is the side that is a little bit more stuck. I may need to pound on it or something. But overall, I think we're looking pretty good for a few hours of work here. All right, so that bolt is really not wanting to come out. I think I might, I don't know, like I said, I bought a blowtorch just in case. And I don't know, I might just keep working it a little bit, but I feel like it's just kind of too early in the day to be repeatedly just hammering on it over and over and over again. So maybe next step is to move on to the interior a little bit. I haven't quite decided how hard I want to go on that, but I definitely want to get the funky smell. And if I can get this tailgate or, the hatch working on it, if I can, and then also need to figure out what's going on with this battery too. So yeah, we're looking pretty good. Feeling a lot better today. All right, I think I need to stop saying all right at the beginning of all these clips, but all right, I think moving on. Interior is the move. Interior next. Like I said, that's all gravel. I don't know how gravel would have gotten in here, but it is what it is. Lots of pet hair. So I think I gotta pull the seats out, get to vacuuming, get to washing. But overall, I mean, you look at something like this and kind of check for damage. By and large, I mean, it doesn't look like the plastic parts, for this thing having over 200,000 miles, really don't look too bad. I'm sure we'll uncover some stuff as we go, but yeah, by and large, this thing really isn't in that bad of shape. So, yeah, I'm gonna start pulling seats, I guess. It should be fun.
Yo, yeah, hey, no.
We're in. Somehow, the camera's falling. Somehow there's moisture, water, something getting in here, and it is just turning into just an entire living biome back here. I got this panel pulled off. One thing I might do, I guess I didn't confirm that I hit the unlock button, so I might jump pack the battery and then just spam the unlock button and see if it unlocks. That would be kind of lit, but we'll see. So yeah, let's try that next. I thought this might be a funny angle. I've set you guys up in the Civic like a dash cam. All right, that was it. All right. That was it. Just needed to be turned on and then have the, what do you suppose that is? Battery maybe? I don't know. We'll find out. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, just needed to get it on. Wait a minute. Yo, is that what's draining the battery? Does that stay on if this tailgate's closed? Oh no, it shuts off. Darn it. Ooh yeah, something. That doesn't sound too good. I'm gonna shut this thing down. We will investigate further. What is up with these non-absorbent rags? Why do rags lose absorbency? This is doing nothing. It's like wicking off of the rags. Every rag in my house is like this. I don't know what the deal is. I'm gonna have to get a full-size towel to mop this up. That also doesn't absorb. What's up with that? Yummy. It's full. I love these Blue Diamond almonds. There we go. All right, I might save this for later. Rocks. Little dyno. I in fact know who owns this little dyno. I might return it to him. What is this? It's probably not in the frame at all, sorry. This little tent. Little, no, tent. What is this? Some kind of a chair? What is this? Sunshade. Oh, that makes sense. Sunshade. I might keep this. I don't know. Set this aside. Probably another sunshade. This side is mostly clean of the handfuls. I would say this is like a nightmare detail. This is gonna be fun. I'm actually most excited to clean this thing, I can't lie. Still quite a bit. Quite a bit to go. All right, let's keep moving. Got the final row of passenger seats out, or whatever, back row, however you want to say it. I'm trying to work quick. Guess what? Newsflash, it's cold in February. Yeah, heard that before. So I'm just gonna zip these out with the impact for the second row. And then we'll see, I'll probably have to pull the front row out as well, the driver, front driver and passenger. But when you do that, you have to make sure you get all the any kind of wiring and cables and everything all unplugged to not damage anything. In the past, I messed something up on my Jeep where I tried to install a headrest cover, like a vinyl cover for the headrest. And I was just moving too quick and I pulled some, head restraint cable and broke it, and then my airbag light was illuminated forever. So I want to make sure that I'm doing this right and not, but I think it should be okay. Like I mentioned, battery's way super dead. So we'll see. Looking good so far. Hey, there goes another one. So yeah, let's keep working here. All right, now I got a good look at the true toddler carnage here. So really not too bad. I mean, when I look at this kind of stuff, the biggest thing I'm looking for is, what can be dry cleaned, as in vacuumed, agitated with a brush, all that, and come up. And then what needs some sort of either steam treatment, vacuuming, or wet vacuuming, shampoo, vacuum. And really, we'll have to look at like how much this mud and stuff comes up, but again, by and large, it really kind of looks surface level. This stuff's definitely gonna need a little bit of love, but dog hair and stuff like that doesn't scare me so much. It's more of, stuff like candy, soda, milk, all that stuff that you would expect to find. That's the kind of stuff that scares me a little bit more. Let's take one more peep at the front just while we're here. So again, not too damaged up or anything. There's some scratches and stuff in the plastic up here. But again, mostly just kind of surface level cleaning, I think, should be sufficient for the vast majority of it. So, all right, let's keep moving. All right, process for cleaning this is gonna be, the way I always clean is, like I said, dry, high to low. So, as we knock dust and stuff off, we want it to fall down. So that's gonna be a vacuuming and maybe, just wiping with a rag and agitating stuff off. Dry. Oh, let me stop this podcast. So we're gonna go dry, high to low, then do any kind of wet, so whether that's steaming or soap and shampoo and stuff. And then we'll do that high to low. And what's nice about this car, so far everything moves like really far up, so I think I can get a vacuum pretty comfortably up inside of here. These seats scoot crazy far forward and crazy far backward. Another cool thing is there's like a hidden compartment. So like this part of the seat will, I don't know if it'll work since it's not really attached to anything, but like this will actually flip up and expose. So actually, this is a pretty cool little car, if I do say so myself. I've always had a kind of a fascination with minivans and stuff, and this one is definitely not disappointing. It's yeah, pretty cool. here is first pass. You know, preliminary. I didn't use the tighter hose vacuum. I would say already way less scary. You know, again, kind of as I expected, none of this really came up, so I'll hit that with some combination of soapy wooter, steam, and brush, and I think we should be pretty good, but I'm gonna let this vacuum take a bit of a break. That's what we pulled up. Here's a finger for reference. I emptied it right before I started. So yeah, first pass. All right, I was wrong. I forgot I ordered chocks as well. So let's pull these out, see if they look similar, and more importantly, let's see what car magnet we got. Always the best part of Rock Auto. Got to check out the magnets that you don't have. Always exciting to get a new one. All right, we good. Is that recording? Yes, okay. Oh, kitty. Missed it, darn it. Oh, kitty. All right, I think we're gonna call that good for today. It's gonna be colder tomorrow, but I got other stuff I need to tend to. So, there we have it. Another day in the books. All right, I'm gonna button things up here a little bit. Having my tools be all spread out is kind of driving me crazy. So I'm gonna take a look, make sure I'm not missing any sockets or anything. And then I think I'm gonna store this stuff in the back because my kitty cats come in the garage, and I really don't want them peeing on the seats. So that's gonna be minorly annoying, but an overall good. So let's do a little cleanup, a little seat storage, and that'll be it for today. All right, guys, day 4, day 5, something somewhere along those lines. I did a little experiment. I did what I knew I must, which was that I needed to not record, I needed to have no expectations, and I needed to say a little prayer, okay? So I was ready for some stuck bolt extraction here, surgical extraction. Not necessary. Like I said, just needed to say a little prayer and not record it. And I knew it would work out. So we got everything pulled apart now. I'm gonna work on a little checklist just to make sure we're looking good on time. It is supposed to snow Tuesday and Wednesday, I think. Maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I'm gonna get as much done today as I can while it is in the low 40s. Tropical day, so I think that's gonna look like cleaning the interior, getting the brake pads. I might just do that today. I might just get those in town, and then wait for coil springs and what else? There's something else that's getting shipped. My mind's a little fuzzy today, but otherwise, as always, we're looking good. Yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. So we're looking good. Let's continue onward, do some cleaning. And so next part of that process is I'm gonna be a little more aggressive with the vacuuming. I'm gonna get in, agitate some of the dirt, get the mud up. And then I think I'll go to soap cleaning next. And I always just use Dawn soap. I don't actually have like a wet extraction vacuum, which would be nice. But what I will do is after I do soap to clean some of the carpets and stuff, I'm gonna go in with a steamer and then use towels to lift all of the soap up and out of the carpets and everything. And then the last step, which I've never tried this before, but I'm considering trying either an ozone or like a chlorine fogger, just to get the entire microbiome killed off out of the back. So I am excited to try that. I think I can get those in town, but if not, I'll just get it on Amazon with some quick shipping. Cool, let's get to cleaning. So one thing, that's sometimes helpful is to just take tape, see what you can get up. Like I'm just using masking tape because it, isn't going to leave any kind of, or not much, sticky adhesive residue, kind of in the same way you'd use like a lint roller. Sometimes I'll do that to get down into, not just generally, but more of like down into here if I'm not getting the suction as much. So I'll just take this and just, masking tape's cheap. So I'll go, actually this might even be a better example. It's hard to do with just one hand, but something like that. Right, all that stuff is coming up. When I like to do this is if I suspect it might be sticky and I don't want to rub that stickiness around with like a brush, I'll go in and do stuff like that just to kind of make the cleaning process go a little bit more smoothly. But I'll just kind of go around with sticky into tight areas and see what I can stick up. Yeah, so there's a little, your mileage may vary, but try it out, maybe. All right, so there's a little before and after. I'm not gonna go crazy sicko mode. Oh, I think I forgot to go there. I'm not gonna go crazy sicko mode. I just really what I'm trying to do, since the railing of the seats and everything where it mounts up is gonna cover this, I just wanna get as much out of it as possible for the smell, right? I just wanna make sure that we don't have any funky smells being left behind as far as like just dust particles and whatever. Obviously this is not gonna be visible. So I think what I'll do next is go to an agitated vacuum and see what more we can suck up. I didn't say, but I think it's, fairly self-explanatory. I'm gonna do the back first, and then I'll come up to the front, mostly just for my own organization, just to kind of help make things feel fresh. I feel like it would be easy to start in the front, do that real good, and then get to the back and then kind of maybe start taking shortcuts. So instead, I want the front to look good. So I'm gonna do that last because I rally a little bit. You kind of sit there and you think of like, what does it look like to sit in and drive this? So I want to make sure that looks good. So yeah, that's where we are. I've just got this wooden handle, stiff bristle plastic brush. Whoops, let's see, there we go. Then I'm gonna go through and just use this to agitate some of that dirt up. One thing that helps is to go slow when you're vacuuming. If you're using like a home vacuum, we've just got like I think it's like a Bissell or something, or yeah, just a Bissell vacuum. So I'm gonna go through, scrub, 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 and then vacuum up slowly behind it. Oops, I guess I'd go this way, right? All right, I'm gonna empty this, and then we'll see how much we pick up from an agitated brush. So here it is before. I'm gonna empty, vacuum, and then we'll see how much we pick up then. Do a little check-in here. So there's what we picked up. Quite a bit. And what I like to do is I section off in like 2 foot by 2 foot chunks. And you can see, I mean, this is just about spotless now. The nice thing, again, with these like Walmart Bissell vacuums, they do work. They definitely work. But you just have to go slow. I know I get in the habit of just, come on, pick it up. But if you just go slow, agitate, and work with it in a way that kind of makes sense, they'll do you well. They'll treat you right. one other thing, what was I gonna say? Oh, pet hair. Yeah, that's right. You can even get pet hair out by doing this. Sometimes there will be a stubborn one, like I see one right here, which that one wasn't so stubborn. But the ones that don't get picked out, assuming they're not like crazy embedded into the carpet, I've never really had an issue with getting pet hair out just from agitating it with a brush. Again, you know, as you'd expect, it can be stubborn sometimes. But largely, you know, using a brush, go slow. And right, air compresses, as we know. So I would use a narrower tip, you know, insert if you've got it. I think that is honestly just as helpful as using a brush. But both of those combined kind of squares the power, you know, so to speak. Exponential. So I don't know how much more of this I'm going to record. I think I'm going to have a lot of video I need to take today, so I'm going to let my phone chill out just a little bit, so I have battery for the rest of the recording. But I'm just going to go through in that process, kind of a 2 foot by 2 foot, 2 foot. This is maybe more of like a 2x3, 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 and just continue on vacuuming up, and then we'll start working with some wet cleaning. So here's just kind of, actually this is kind of a good example. You can see here versus here where I've already vacuumed. So onward. All right, here's an update. I'm gonna give the neighbors a little bit of a break from the vacuum sound. We're looking for progress, not perfect, and I think we've found that. A lot of this is going to get better once I go in, like I said, with some sort of soap. Have not gotten up here into the floorboards quite yet, so that'll be the next step. I did pull off the plastic trim here, just to get, you know, a little bit better underneath here. I'm not going to do that back here just because these can sometimes be a pain to get back in, you know, and they feel like they never quite go back in correctly. And I think enough of the, you know, the seats and then this wheel cover will cover it up. I don't necessarily know that that's going to be a huge deal. So let me think, what's going to be next here? Yeah, so I think next is just a little break from vacuuming, and then doing maybe hit some of the plastic parts up top with soap, and kind of wipe those down, just, you know, just for a change of pace. We always want to go high to low, right, because you're going to be knocking dust off from up top. And so I think I assume I'll have to vacuum again one more time, right at the very end. Yeah, and then next will be some sort of soap steam, and then anything you put into your carpet you want to try to get out as best you can. I'm hoping the steam helps to facilitate that a little bit. But also I'm gonna just lay down some towels and stuff and try to sop up as much of the soap as we can so that the carpet doesn't get all hard and crusty, which I've had pretty good success with that in the past. So yep, that's next. All right, I'm not gonna be too discerning about this. We've got soapy water, vinegar, Jay Leno's interior detailer, and Jay Leno's fabric cleaner. I'm not too picky when it comes to this stuff. I say whatever smells the best and what you like is fine enough. I feel like it's kind of stupid. So I got these a couple Christmases ago. Like everyone went balls to the wall giving me interior detailing stuff, so I have quite a few to choose from. So I'm just kind of starting at the top and moving down with Jay Leno's cleaner. I'm not going to review it. It's fine. It's the same as everything else. It's soapy. It smells good. So what I'm going to do is spray onto my cleaning cloth as much as I can, rather than spray directly on, just to avoid any kind of streaking in the plastic stuff. Sometimes you do encounter that. And then what I like to do is rub kind of the soapy stuff into the carpet. I do try to be a little more discerning about how much I choose to rub it into the carpet, just because, again, I want all of it to lift out of the carpet as much as I can. So I don't typically use those little attachments, the very stiff plastic attachments, just because I feel like I have trouble getting it back out unless there's a method that I'm not seeing, which is also entirely possible. But that's what's going to be next. We're going to work on cleaning up some of these plastic components, as well as getting a little bit of cleaner into the carpet.
This song goes out to all of our fallen East Side soldiers. Your loss is not in vain.
All right, just got to get a shot of this. So I didn't really show the before and after super well, but like this is just with soap. You know, you have all this nasty stuff. I'm gonna know that I'm hitting it with the soap super hard. Hang on. Actually, so here's vinegar. Let's see what happens. You see this stuff starting to fade pretty quickly. I'm not at a super optimal angle to be applying pressure to it. It's kind of blowing up in my face because I got a large portion of this, whatever this black stuff is, off of it. But we'll go through and do a little before and after. Sorry, I'm not thinking through this very well, but you can kind of see what we're dealing with here. And I'm just, like I said, I always start just with soap and water, or soap and vinegar, just to kind of help keep it a little on the gentle side.
What the fuck's up? What the fuck's up? Oh my fucking god! Will we pick up? You hear me? Send it in my victim! I'm fine, motherfucker!
All right, so here's a look at this more kind of beige trim pieces. Really not too bad. I don't know how well it's picking up, but there's definitely a mark there and a mark there. And then this over here, I was just not able to get up. I'm gonna see what I can do. I'll get kind of experimental to get that off. For headliners, I always just go with a clean cloth and then just Dawn soap. They can be a little more tricky. I haven't had a situation where it like smears and makes it worse, but you know, I feel a little weird about just like spraying a ton of stuff up into the headliner and just hoping for the best. But usually, you know, a clean microfiber cloth and then just get it good and try not to mess anything up. And then where I switch over to vinegar is if it's something that needs to be like disinfected, right? So for this, what do they call it? Terrarium that was back here, all this water, I'll definitely switch over to vinegar down there. I just personally, you know, personal beliefs, I don't go anything past vinegar usually. So I'm not going to use like bleach or anything to clean that out. If I do get everything back in, we still have that funky smell. Like I said, I'll try an ozone or a chlorine cleaner, kind of fogger to get up in there and kill any of the other bacteria off. But overall, I mean, since I cleaned up the water a couple days ago, it really hasn't smelled too bad in there. But yeah, like I said, not gonna probably film all of this just for the sake of battery longevity, because yeah, I can't charge and have it set up because of a short charger cable. But all right, let's see, what's the go-to transition? Let's keep going. Headliner update. So this is just with soapy water. Not perfect. There is, where was it? There it is. I don't know if you can see that. Some sort of red splatter up on the top of the headliner. I don't know, that was probably some sort of soda can that exploded, or maybe there was a Pulp Fiction situation. Either way, I'm sure there's a trick for getting that out, but just with what I've got, I'm gonna think, personally, I think that looks much better and acceptable, just with how much time we have left in this rebuild, refresh. I also went through with vinegar and cleaned up basically everything. I did three full sprays. So I sprayed it, wiped everything down, soaked it all up, sprayed it again and again. And I think it looks good. This stuff is, once this dries up, I'll just vacuum out all of this crud. But yeah, we still have these kind of black pieces of the plastic trim to go, and you know, some sticky stuff But I think this stuff is really pretty easy to clean. It's just kind of tedious, but shouldn't be too much of a headache to get all of this clean. Onward. Got this back quarter panel here mostly cleaned up. One thing I did do is I went in like within this little hook anchor thing, and I just cleaned around on the inside of this with a cheap paintbrush, and then went around, you know, like down around in here and did the same thing. Also in this cup holder, did something similar. Ooh, it looks like that needs a little more cleaning, but I'm just gonna, yeah, kind of continue on in that same fashion around here and then on to the other side. And then I think it might be time for a Raising Cane's lunch break. Here she is. I think all vacuuming is done. Next up, stuff keeps blowing in through the window, or the wide open doors. Still got a little bit of mud, still got a little bit of candy. So next up is soap and steam cleaning. And then I think this should be mostly presentable. Don't let me forget to do that. This too. I'm worried I'm gonna forget that. All right, so I went through and sprayed a little bit of that J. Leno fabric cleaner, just a light coating. Like I said, I'm not gonna rub it in or anything. What I'm gonna do is go in, once I fill this up, I'll show the attachment that I'm gonna use. But there's this flat steam attachment that I'm gonna use and just go over all of the carpet, kill off any of the bad smells, and then I might use a more pointed attachment to get like the gum and any kind of other nastiness out from the carpet. I'm gonna do the backs of these 2 front seats as well, just while I'm in there. And then at some point I'll do the 3rd row passenger outside of the car, as well as the 2nd row passenger seats. Just, you know, while they're out of the car, just clean them up here in the garage or something. Let's go!
All of the stats, despite the fact that all of those stats are recorded online every
Steam
single
time.
day. Have you seen that guy? I've seen the autistic guy at wrestling shows that
All right, whatever this is, it looks a lot worse when it's wet, but as it kind of re-dries back over, it doesn't look so bad. This looks way worse on camera. So we'll see, we'll just kind of see what that does. More parts just came. Let's move on to this skittle here. And hopefully the steam cleaner should make pretty quick work of it. There we go. Like it wasn't even there. All right, and last up is this kind of dirt stuff over here. Not too bad. Again, this actually looks worse on camera, I feel like. I might go over it a couple more times, but I would say steam cleaning was a success. Let's see what came in. I think this should be the last of it. Well, I'm at an angle. So we got shocks, came in on Friday, I think. So I think we need springs. this. Cool, good. We got another magnet. Pontiac. Springs. We'll mock those up, make sure they look the same. Magnet. Pontiac. Be our control arm. One. And two. All right. I think we have everything except for battery, brake pads, and I think I'm going to do an oil change too, just for peace of mind. I think this car kind of just had sat for a while, so I'm sure it could just use an oil change. So we'll see how that fits into things. I want to make sure that it starts and runs though, that there are no other electronic or, fuse or parasitic draw problems going on, that is causing the battery to go dead. I'm sure it's just an old battery and just needs to be replaced after having sat for a long time, but we're looking good. Alrighty, I had to pull these little bumpers off from the old, and what I did was I just heated it up with this small heat gun here, and then when I bent it or pulled it, I was having trouble pulling it straight off, so I kind of went at this away and kind of peeled it off until it just popped off. So I'll use some sort of dry lube when I go to put it on to the new ones. Yeah, I don't know, just thought I'd share that. All right guys, phone is dying. I wanted to show a little bit. So I got stuck here for a minute. I was getting kind of TO'd, man. But got this with this new spring installed. I'll probably record it on the other side, but this side, man, I was just not really in the mood to even think about having eyes on this. Last thing, I think maybe for today, we'll see if I get brave and try to do the other side as well. But man, like I said, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling weak. So this is good though. I think tomorrow's supposed to be relatively nice. And then I'll double check with my torque wrench. Just make sure everything is spec'd down properly. And this thing's going in for an alignment eventually anyway. So I think we're gonna call it good there today. Hey guys! We're back again. Okay, I had to hang out with La Familia today. This time I will actually record myself putting in this spring here. So you can kind of laugh at me while I do this. Alrighty guys, what are we saying? What are we saying? We're saying progress, not perfect. So there's, some, I don't even know what that is, some candy or something. It's been a little bit stubborn, but it's not like sticky necessarily. I may work it a little bit more once the seats are in and just kind of see, but again, timeline is tight. This one actually didn't turn out too bad. Last up is this kind of rear, again, that third row passenger. I don't think this one will be too bad, just from what I saw of it. So let us proceed onward. Alrighty, seats are ready to go back in. So let's get to it. I still need to clean up all those plastic trim panels and everything, but here is how the back end is looking. Not too shabby. So let's get to it. All right, guys, had to plug the old phone in. Here is a little update. I am coming to terms with the fact that this is not going to be a 100% clean detail. This is gonna have to be a very, I don't wanna say surface level. It's definitely beyond surface level, but like, man, some of this stuff is just, with the time that I have, is just not gonna come up, unfortunately. So I have done an agitated vacuuming down here. I really would like to get some of this to come up if I can. If not, it's fine. We're gonna take a deep breath and it's gonna be fine. Here's a dust update. I've not emptied the vacuum since whenever the last time I emptied it on camera. It's pretty full, dude. And then I have to show this. I was so upset that I didn't get this on camera. So here's passenger floor mat. I'm trying to keep it out of view here. Here is driver's side floor mat. Here is the dust that I shook out of the driver's side floor mat after 3 passes with the vacuum. Look how thick that is. So I will not be steaming the driver's side floor mat because this is gonna turn into mud, right? There's absolutely still so much dirt locked in there. Even, you know, I could shake it all day and I don't think I'd be able to get it all out. But I mean, this whole pile is just, there's so much dirt up in there. So I'm gonna keep shaking it, keep vacuuming, but I will not be using a steam cleaner on that floor mat specifically. This one, the passenger side one, I think I might be able to get away with. Here's just kind of a reference of what the passenger side looks like. The driver's side, I would say, was much worse than this passenger side, as well as kind of a plastic cleaning update. Seats are in, not looking half bad. Back there, I need to work back there. I will absolutely work back there before I knock off for the day and relinquish this car back. But there's the update. We are getting there. All right, here it is. I'm about to take it for a test drive. It actually, I don't know. I know it looks a lot better than it did. I'm still not just personally just 100% satisfied, but it is better. You know, I mean, undoubtedly it's better. Couple things didn't come out. Obviously this being one, that being one, but you know, it cleaned up pretty good, I would say. So I'm gonna take this thing out for a test drive and then we'll be back for some final thoughts here. All right, guys, we're on the highway. It's doing great. There's a little bit of a vibration. And if you notice, I'm not looking at my phone, so I hope this is in focus, but I am steering straight. The steering wheel does not look straight though. It's kind of, I'm aiming it more to the right, if that makes sense, to keep it straight on. So I think the vibration is kind of related to that. But otherwise, it really doesn't drive half bad. It's very quiet in here, or at least, you know, compared to my Civic. So I would consider this a success. Epic success.